Hey, welcome to Models and Agents for Beginners, Episode 2 for March 9th, 2026. Let's break down today's coolest AI news so anyone can understand it. Let's go. Okay, friends, let's kick things off with the big story that's got me thinking about how AI is sneaking into our everyday lives in some really practical ways. So imagine you're a teen with your first part-time job, staring at your paycheck and wondering how to save up for that new bike or even college down the road. Or maybe you're a parent trying to juggle family budgets without feeling totally overwhelmed. Well, according to a report from the Financial Times, millions of people are turning to AI chatbots. These are like super helpful digital assistants that you can chat with, similar to texting a smart friend who knows a ton about almost everything, to get advice on stuff like saving for retirement or planning out budgets. Tools like ChatGPT are leading the charge here, and they're popular because they're free, available anytime, and can whip up quick answers to those tricky money questions that might otherwise send you spiraling. Think of a chatbot as a mix between a super smart calculator and a friendly advisor. It takes your questions about finances, digs into huge piles of data it's learned from, and suggests things like how much you should save each month based on your age and what you're aiming for. But hold on, let's make sure we're all on the same page about how these chatbots even work. They're trained on massive amounts of text from books, websites, and articles. Imagine feeding a sponge all the world's knowledge so it can soak it up and squeeze out answers when you ask. That means they can explain concepts clearly or run simple calculations, but they don't have real-time access to things like your actual bank account or the latest stock market ups and downs unless you specifically tell them. It's not like they can peek into your wallet. They're more like a library that's really good at summarizing books on the fly. Now, why does this matter so much? For one, it's making financial planning feel way less intimidating, especially if you're just starting out. Teens picture using this to figure out if buying that video game fits into your allowance without going broke. It's like having a pocket coach for your cash. Students or folks switching careers might get sparked into thinking about jobs in finance, seeing how AI is shaking up roles like being an advisor or accountant, where you team up with tech to help people. And parents, this could be a low-pressure way to play around with family budgeting ideas before chatting with a real pro. But here's the honest part, and I love that we're talking about this because it's important to get real. Experts are warning that these AIs aren't perfect. They can spit out mistakes like advice that's a bit outdated or that misses your unique situation. It's kind of like getting tips from a knowledgeable friend who sometimes mixes up the facts. Helpful, but you wouldn't bet your whole savings on it without double checking. This could affect you by opening up money talks that used to feel out of reach, but it also reminds us to blend tech with human smarts for those big life decisions. And the cool thing, you can dip your toes in right now, safely. Head over to the ChatGPT website or app on your phone and try asking something straightforward like, how can a 16-year-old start saving for a car? Then compare what it says to advice from a trusted adult or a site like Khan Academy to spot any differences. Keep it general, no sharing real account details, and it's a zero-risk way to see how AI can be your budgeting buddy. Isn't that empowering? It turns something scary like finances into a fun experiment. All right, that was our big story. AI stepping in as a money mentor, with a side of caution. Now let's shift gears to my absolute favorite part of the show, the deep dive, where we peel back the layers on one concept and see how it really ticks. Today we're unpacking something called probabilistic reasoning, which is essentially how AI can get better at updating its ideas based on new information, much like a detective piecing together clues in a mystery novel. This comes from a new teaching method that the team at Google AI is using to train their large language models. Those are AIs designed to process and generate text, like the ones powering chatbots we just talked about. But let's break it down step by step, starting from something you already know. Imagine you're playing a game of Clue, where you have to figure out who committed the crime, with what weapon, and where. You start with some initial guesses, like it was probably Colonel Mustard because he seems sneaky, based on the little you know at the beginning. That's your starting point, a belief with some odds attached, not a sure thing. Step 1 in probabilistic reasoning. You begin with that initial guess, weighing how likely it is from what you've seen so far. It's like assigning percentages, maybe 60% chance it's Mustard, 20% someone else. Step 2, new information rolls in, say a card proves Mustard was in another room, so you adjust. You lower the odds for him and bump up others, calculating the shift based on how strong that clue is. Think of it as recalibrating a scale when you add more weight to one side. Step 3, you keep doing this with every new piece of evidence, building a more accurate picture without tossing out what you learned before. It's like mixing ingredients in a recipe, tasting as you go, and tweaking the flavors until it all balances out. Step 4, if clues conflict, maybe one points to Mustard, another away, you balance them, averaging the probabilities, like polling your friends on the best movie to watch, and going with the group vibe. And that's basically what this Bayesian method, named after a mathematician who figured out this probability stuff, does when training AI models. It helps them handle uncertainty. So instead of just blurting out one answer, they can reason through odds, making them sharper for things like predicting weather patterns or solving brain teaser puzzles. See, not so mysterious once we break it down like a board game. It shows how AI is learning to think more flexibly, just like we do when we're piecing together a story from hints. And that's how probabilistic reasoning works. Pretty cool how it turns guesswork into smart updates, right? Whew, I love geeking out on that stuff. It makes it feel less like magic and more like a tool we can understand. Okay, now for some cool stuff happening in AI land, plus things you can try right this second to get your hands dirty. First up, there's buzz that OpenAI might be cooking up a new kind of model called an Omni model. This would be an upgrade to their AI that can handle all sorts of inputs at once: text, images, sound, you name it. Think of it as evolving from a chatbot that's only good with words to a full-on multimedia sidekick, like upgrading your phone from just texting to handling photos, videos, and calls seamlessly. It's exciting because it could supercharge real-world tasks like turning a photo you upload into a narrated story or generating sound effects from your wild ideas. For teens into gaming or social media, this hints at future tools for whipping up custom game levels or remixing sounds for TikTok videos, like having an AI collaborator for your creative hobbies. The new model isn't out yet, but you can sample similar tech today. Pop over to the ChatGPT website, upload a simple drawing or photo from your phone, say a quick sketch of your dream pet, and ask it to turn this into a short story with sound effects. It's totally free and gives you a taste of how this multimodal AI, that's just a fancy way of saying it juggles different media types, blends creativity in ways that spark ideas for school, projects, or just fun downtime. Next, let's talk about a study that's a bit of a wake-up call. It turns out juggling too many AI tools can lead to what's called brain fry. That's basically mental exhaustion from overseeing multiple chatbots or agents. Those are AI programs that tackle tasks step by step like little digital workers. The research shows it causes more mistakes and even makes people feel like quitting, kind of like overloading your brain with too many tabs open while studying, where everything starts to blur. This is a heads up for students or career changers, showing how future jobs might involve managing AI without burning out, similar to balancing homework with gaming sessions so you don't crash. To feel it yourself and learn from it, try this quick experiment. Open 2 free AI tools on your laptop, like the ChatGPT website and Google's Bard website. Then switch between them for a simple task. Ask each to help plan a fun weekend activity. Notice if flipping back and forth starts to feel overwhelming after a few goes, and take a break to shake off that fry feeling. It's a smart way to see why pacing yourself with tech matters for productivity. Alright, those are your cool finds. Go play around and see what clicks for you. Now for some quick bits to wrap up the news roundup. First, the UK is rolling out a sovereign AI fund with £500 million to build their own computing power for AI. That means creating homegrown tech so they're less dependent on other countries, which could lead to faster, more accessible tools for things like education apps or games without those annoying global lags. Pretty neat push for independence in the AI world. Second, City Union Bank in India is teaming up to launch an AI center for testing tools on real banking jobs, like automating customer support. This is awesome because it's smoothing out everyday services, from getting loans to managing accounts, and it might inspire folks to explore careers that mix tech and finance. Shows how AI is quietly upgrading the behind-the-scenes stuff we all rely on. That's it for today. Remember, every AI expert started exactly where you are right now. If something we talked about today made you curious, go try it. That's literally how learning works. Stay curious, keep experimenting, and we'll see you tomorrow.